Yo, yo, yo. What's up, party people? Man. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, all the friends. This is a really hodgepodge show today. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Um, I'm in Colorado. People are still sleeping, and so there's like a nice dining area with a nice desk and good lighting, but everyone's sleeping, so I'm downstairs. I'm on a couch, basically where I slept last night. Well, I slept in a room, but like away from everyone. So we're hodgepodging it. The computer's like sitting on a pillow. We're crushing it. So I'm in Colorado um for the the Iron Games, my first competition that I put on. We'll go over some uh we'll go over the workouts in a little bit. Chat about a little Crucible and whatever the chat brings up. Sorry if I get out of breath easily. I don't know if you guys have ever been at elevation. If you have, we just walked up and downstairs to get some coffee and I get out of breath. Like, dude, fucking being at elevation is the worst. It's the absolute worst. You just can't, all two of us in the chat. That's right, baby. Um, you can't you just can't escape it. Everything is harder when the air is thinner. It's the worst. So yeah. Oh man, it's Friday, October 11th. Oh, what's new? What's new in the world of CrossFit? Is the question. What's new in y'all's world, all five of you? I was gonna come on earlier, and then I realized everyone was going on later, and this will probably be the only time that I'll be able to get on. Good morning, Sarah. What's up? What's up? I needed to sleep. I was up late working. Whenever we come to to Denver, or whenever I come to Denver to work, it never fails, but we work till, I don't know, 5 or 6, and then we will go eat somewhere, wherever, and then we get back at, like, I feel like it's, like, 9 or 10, and then I usually have to do the work thing and program and do all the computer stuff that I have to do every day, and it's just, like, I go to bed at, like, midnight or 1 AM every day that I'm here, never fails. Doesn't matter what we're doing, if it's running a competition or a camp or shooting content, doesn't matter. I don't understand. I go to bed at like 10:30 at home, but here I go to bed at 1, which means it's 2 o'clock because we're in mountain time. And it just never fails. It just never fails. And I'm always running on fumes. But speaking of running on fumes, so what's everyone drinking this morning? I'm drinking this. This is what Ben has. He made for me, which is nice. That was nice of him. Counterculture coffee. I don't know anything about it. It's pretty good. Oh man. Yeah. So that's what I'm drinking this morning. Try to give you guys a little bit of entertainment before all the other peoples go on. But for now, we'll just chat and chill and get the day rolling. I know my day is super, super busy. What does everyone else's day look like? We've got I love it. Everyone's drinking Paper Street. On the way up here, I was just like doing a little bit of thinking on the airplane. I was like, man, because we're partnered with Coda to do this, right? And there's a lot of work that goes into running a competition, a lot of things you don't see. And I was like, I think we could do this. I think we could, do like a WODprep games or something like that. Maybe find like a I don't know, find a niche in there somewhere, whether that's masters or maybe like a high individual competition or something like that. Um, and and so we sat down after walking our 1.5-mile trail yesterday, where we put flags down. Mhm. Let's see, we'll pull that up. Um, and so we did this, and so talking about Tim knows. Tim is one of our athletes. He does our programming. He's in the middle of our Masters RX program. If you are masters looking for a thought-driven program that's appropriate for masters, check it out, WODprep.com. Um, so we were
flags down. Nothing like taking a one-man job and making it a three-man job. Here we go.
So we walked this course yesterday, and then and put flags down everywhere to mark out the track or the course. 1.5 miles. It's like 1.6. So he knows. And then we're eating dinner at Kevin's house. Kevin's the local gym owner that we're partnering with. And it was just 2 hours of like all the things that still need to be done. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I want to run a competition solo. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I was like, like a good, this seems like a good opportunity for someone who's done it, but a bad opportunity for someone who's just trying to get into it. So was this reference to Sarah? Good. Good working and like sort of not working. Um so yeah, I don't think we're gonna do a WOD prep games. Not anytime soon. Not anytime soon. It seemed like a good idea, and then I was just like, nah, that's still way too much. I can't handle that. It was so much stuff. So much stuff to think about. Oh yeah, yeah. Three guys do one man job. Yeah. Well, we're not getting paid more. We're still splitting the same amount of money. So we're splitting it further. So it's more like, I don't know, probably like a Chinese worker, right? So here's the money. Take as many people as you need to make it, but you're not getting any more. That's pretty much how it works. So it's like the opposite. Not paying 3 times as much, dividing it by 3. Um and so yeah. But super excited for that. So we have a lot of work to do today, setting up tape lines for handstand work and getting the lanes done. The gym will close down at noon, I think, and then we'll be all hands on deck. So sorry if I seem like a little scattered. I'm trying to I'm only on a laptop, which is much harder than a big screen to just move shit around, and yeah, it's a little tough. Let's take a minute just to give a big thanks to Third Z, guys. That's our show sponsor. Third Z is the #1 sleep supplement on the market. No melatonin. Melatonin is a naturally producing hormone in the body that we do not want to take, no matter what anyone says, no matter what Beam says, no matter what, you know, nature's bounty says. Third Z is full of GABA, collagen, L-theanine, and magnesium, all which are scientifically proven to assist you in falling asleep, staying asleep, relaxing, right? Hitting a good REM cycle and staying asleep for the full time that you're allotted your sleep. So scan the QR code if you're trying to improve that sleep and take your recovery to the next to the next to the next level. Um so melatonin is hormone disrupting, right? That's the main issue behind melatonin, right? And so because the body naturally produces it, it will limit our ability to produce it if we start to supplement it. Now, there are some cases, usually like middle-aged females, that can really benefit from like a very, very low dose in moderation. But But for the most part, that's not where you're not going to find any of that in this, especially not in the States, right? The way that it's dosed in the States is basically 5 and 10s. What the science shows is that we should be dosing, if you are going to dose it, very sparingly, not consistently, and like 1 to 2 milligrams, right? And so this is like where the biggest problem is. But it's addicting, okay, and it's hormone disrupting. And when we talk about hormone disrupting, what that means is that it's going to limit our ability to produce it once we stop taking it. So, um, yeah, you can get 1 to 3s in Canada. Well, you know what? America, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, you can't find 1 to 3s anywhere in the States. It doesn't even exist. Third Z is the way to go, right? Everyone doses magnesium anyways. Collagen protein is great for calming the brain, promoting deep sleep, and obviously getting your protein numbers in. So get all the benefit of dosing collagen protein plus all of the sleep supplements and all the sleep support of theanine, magnesium, and GABA. Thanks for the good question, guys. All right. So we talk about some fitness. Let's see. Go to Iron Games. We'll talk about some football. Ooh, that's not right. Did we even put our workouts on the thing? Oh, we did. All right. Sick. Sarah, how much are you dosing for your
Some other things you can
Whoa.
say include make a note.
Siri.
Change Siri.
Siri heard me. For magnesium.
I
And
can't help you with that.
shut the fuck up. Sarah, not Siri. Stupid thing. Oh, it's because I have my headphones in. I was like, why did it catch it? Sarah, fun fact, Third Z is actually a Canadian company. If you didn't know. So, no, that you dose magnesium in 100 milligrams up to a gram, up to 1,000 milligrams. That's how you dose it. Whoa. Yep. Hey guys, fun fact. Should we delete the guy? Do we do this? Is this what wrenches are for? Man, I don't even know what to say to this. We're just not going to address this. Anyways, let's not talk about anything of that. So let's talk about some fitness, huh? All right, James, you get one more chance. All right. Share screen. I'm going to share this tab. And sweet. Okay, we'll go over here. Can't see the chat right this second, so hopefully looks good. All right, let's talk about some workouts. I know Crucible is going on, but you know what? We got our own shit on the other side of the country. So here we are. You guys are here with me. Let's talk about our competition. So this is Code Iron Games. We're gonna go over the individuals. So event 1, 3 rounds for time, echo bike, drag rope, and handstand variation. Super tight time cap here. I think it's gonna be really tough for a lot of people to finish. It is when we were writing these workouts, we really wanted to take into account, like, obviously a good balanced test, a fun workouts that like looked entertaining and then that were easy to follow and that were fun to watch, right? So those were like our five kind of parameters, and Kevin really walked me through like those things that he looked through. And so it's regular strict handstand push-up. So it's going to get pretty spicy. This is a pretty narrow window to get all of this done. I'm not unsure if anyone is going to finish the full thing. You got to pretty much go unbroken to finish the handstand walks. So it's going to be a good one. Super fun way to start off the weekend for the individuals and the females. We have teams on here? No, it's in a different thing. And then this is probably my favorite workout of the weekend. I can't believe it. This is totally unacceptable, Ken. Late. 6 rounds, 12 box jump overs, 8 lateral burpees over the sandbag, which is just such an awkward movement, and 4 sandbag clean to shoulders. This one's pretty tough. We've gone through, you guys have seen me do this one. We did it against Travis in the WODprep Wars, but we did it as a 12-minute AMRAP. And so it's spicy, it's fast, and I think it's going to be a good one to watch. I think we have them like moving down the floor to show where they so it's irrelevant. So we're just not going to talk about it here. That's not what this platform is for. That's not the things that I talk about. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, whether I agree with you or not, but it's not a political show, buddy. But I do appreciate that you're here, and I appreciate that you enjoy the content. I'm sorry you lost your friend. That's very sad. But this isn't this. If we bring it up anymore, we're gonna dip on it, right? And I'm gonna block you. So this one was my my redemption road, right? So you guys saw me do this against Travis, and I got like 5 rounds, and I was just in really bad, I don't know. So I had COVID. I had COVID in July. Well, I went on a trip, and I got really sick. We were at the beach. We went to the beach for a week for the Blue Angels, and that was like right when we started doing shows, and I wasn't doing the morning show yet. And so I got really, really sick, like lost my voice. I couldn't breathe. I was sweating every night. And I just thought I just caught a really, really bad cold. And then after a week, I was still sick. And then after 10 days, I was having headaches. And I was like, oh, this is COVID. The headache thing is like very specific to COVID for me. And and so I couldn't figure out, like, I would do like 5 burpees and I'd have to rest, and it's just not me. I can do hundreds of burpees without stopping, and it's never a problem. And this workout just fucking flattened me in mid July. And I guess it was probably late, maybe just like late July before the games. And so I was like, I'm gonna redo it. And then of course I tore my finger up that I think I showed everybody. Yep, Omar, I'm in Louisville. And so I couldn't scoop a sandbag, but I did this the other day. I went from 5 rounds in 12 minutes. And then I did it as a 12-minute, and I finished 7, and I was so stoked. And I was like, fuck yeah. And I was so pumped. Ethan, I don't know what you're asking. Are you watching the comp in this live? Oh, Crash Crucible? No. No, they are that's not my I'll get canned. That's all on Savant Show. So make sure to head over there. I think in an hour, right? I think it starts in 10:30. 10:30 Eastern time. So anyways, so I love this one. This is going to be a fast one, and fun to watch. All right, event 3, clean and jerk. For all the individuals, they have 5 minutes. The bar can be preloaded. Hopefully we see some big numbers. We went through a couple things of like what we wanted to do. I think I wanted a thruster from the ground at first, but standardizing the thruster, no steps, et cetera, we just decided to clean and jerk. And then it goes right into event 4. So we call this the Iron Gauntlet. And so basically 2 minutes to change your weights, and it's power snatch, clean and jerk thrusters for time. So it's going to be a spicy one. This one's going to be fun to watch too. I think they stay in this. They don't walk. I don't think they move. They don't move. Yeah, it would have been cool, Gus. But you just, like, obviously you remember from the open, right? Like if you take a step, that's the same. That's like a clean thruster, the thruster from the ground, right? You pull it from the ground. That's a cluster. I hate that term. That's like my biggest pet peeve name is a cluster. Like it's just a clean and then you do a thruster. I hate it. We can talk about that. You want to pop in? We can do some shoulder talk. I'll send you a link. We can talk some pain and injury this morning. Let me know if you want to hop on. All right. Sounds good. Grant's coming in. Instagram. Let me send it to Instagram. Talk a little bit of injury now with Grant. Grant keeps making bad decisions on what's wrong with his shoulder. Anyone but Grant. Oh my God, you're blocked. You're done. Sorry, Tamp. Here, and I'm just going to address this, dude. Since when bombing and killing athletes was politics? Dude, I just don't fucking care. Like, it's unfortunate, but call me selfish. Doesn't affect my family directly. And it just is what it is, right? Like, you can go talk about it on another podcast that gives a shit. This one doesn't care, right? We're going to talk about things that I want to talk about. That's why it's my fucking podcast, right? So enjoy, buddy. I'm sorry that you weren't able to just not be a fucking douche. So all right, he's gone. Fuck, man. I hate that's first time I've had to do that to someone, and that annoys the shit out of me because she's commented on the show before, and it's not a big deal, but just get the fuck over it. Like, we can't do anything about it. Me talking about it doesn't change anything, right? The people at the top have already made their decisions on if they're going to fuck with it, and they're not. Anyways, all right, back to fitness. Grant's gonna come on. Grant's got a shoulder issue. I keep digging at him for making bad decisions. And I saw a video of him doing muscle ups this morning after not doing any muscle ups for 8 months. We're going to talk about why that's a bad decision. But first, we're going to finish the events trail run. So it's a 1.5 mile trail that we walked out yesterday. It's going to be sick. It's going to go right into a narrow time window into a sled push, like a heavy down and back sled push relay for individuals and teams. So yeah, so it's only a mile and a half. I had it a little bit more, but we're just running out of time, right? It's hard to have long off-site events. You have vendors that have paid money to be there, and if we keep the people off-site for a really long time, it's just not fair to the vendors. And so there's a lot of other factors that I never thought of that play a role into deciding times and lengths of workouts and things like that too. But a mile and a half, it's a trail run, right? So it's tough. Mile and a half is going to be a hard push. It's outside in Colorado. In Colorado. Uh-oh. Turn your stuff off. Jesus Christ. You ever done this before?
I'm kidding. This is work me. They don't actually know.
Hey, your YouTube is on.
Yeah. This is work me. They don't actually know. They don't actually know I don't have hair. So don't tell them.
Work me. I'm so confused.
At work, I have hair.
At work, you just wear that for your work meetings?
They just assume it's real.
Oh, I don't believe you in the slightest bit.
I'm just messing around.
Good morning.
Actually, I'll take this off. In this. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, buddy?
Oh, not much. How's your morning going?
It's good. It's later than usual,
Yeah.
which I appreciate very much so.
Yeah, I was curious. I got the muscle up thing, and I was curious. I knew you were on, so I was curious about your thoughts on that in
Yeah,
particular.
So we'll give a little bit of backstory. Good
Mhm.
morning. Good morning, everybody. Brandon, Colorado living. This is a long YouTube name. A lot of
I'm gonna grab my other.
letters.
Are you familiar? Sorry,
You're fine.
I'm gonna grab my other leg massager. Did I tell you about that? I have like a neuromuscular thing, or no?
No, I'm ready for
Okay.
it.
It's I get twitches all over, so I use these massagers so I don't feel them. And this is the loud one, so I'll be right back. 1 second.
Get twitches. Huh. Yo,
It's,
Grant's an interesting person.
It's they don't know what causes it. It's called
Restless leg syndrome.
no, it's different than that. I actually had to get tested for it was really freaking scary. Last year I had to get tested for MS and ALS because for some people the first symptom of twitching is or of ALS is twitching.
Yeah, switching.
But
Right.
yeah, but for me it's benign fasciculation syndrome they call it
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Huh.
or small fiber neuropathy. A lot of people
Yeah. You actually get is it active twitching or is it like this sensation that it needs to twitch, like an aggressive restless leg?
It's both. It's crazy, dude. It's like, and particularly so after working out, like after CrossFit, particularly like a short, intense workout would probably be the worst. The whole workout, like about a few minutes in, you feel the sensation of like all your muscles want to twitch, but because they're not at rest, they're active, they can't twitch. So it's like this tickling all over your body. It's very uncomfortable. It doesn't
That's the
affect
neuropathy.
performance. It's just annoying.
Does
And then
it affect
afterwards
your
it just
sleep?
starts. No, I figured out ways to
Oh,
deal
that's
with it.
good.
Like, yeah, if it's really bad, I have the massagers and then I have a weighted blanket that I'll use on my legs because that's where the twitching happens the most.
Compression.
Yeah. I hope it goes away at some point. There's a lot of different theories. Some people
Are you
think that
taking like a Flexerol or anything?
no, I tried it. It just made me tired and
Yeah.
and it didn't do much to be honest.
Yeah.
So they're thinking like autoimmune potentially or the vax. Some people got the vax and it started. There's just a lot of different theories. They're not really 100% sure. I had to pull the comments up.
Okay.
I'm sure Augustine's just going crazy right now with everything that's happening with me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to
Augustus.
hear that. That's an interesting one. I have heard of that before.
Yeah.
But is it getting worse? Does it stay the same?
No, it stayed pretty much the same. It got at first it just started with my my fingers were like tingly, and then a few months later the twitching came and it once it went to like full body twitching, it's just stayed the same. So
Got it.
yeah, hopefully one day it goes away, but if it doesn't, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just annoying.
Sure.
Yep.
All right. So I'll give a little backstory. Me and Grant have been chipping back and forth about his shoulder and decision making and direction. I said he should work with me, and he's stubborn as shit, and he doesn't want to, which is fine. And so, am I okay to just like lay the foundation? Is there anything?
Anything.
Okay.
I
So
don't
he
care.
decided to take a bunch of drugs for it to try and make it better.
One drug.
And one drug, a good drug for sure. Did you start yet?
Yeah, I got the BPC TB combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I started that about a week or something ago. I don't know.
Cool. Do you feel any difference day to day?
I mean, if I'm being honest, I think it's a few weeks on both PRP and that. So yeah, those were the two things. The funny thing about the muscle ups is it's true that I haven't been able to do one, and maybe I try once every 2 or 3 weeks. I don't actually think it's any of that. That I think I I can't get up as high. I can't get a good swing. And then yesterday, I think I just sort of maybe turned over faster. I don't know, but I don't think it would.
Sure.
I don't feel better.
So you don't feel better. So, okay. So everyone in the chat, right? So when we go through rehab assessments or diagnosis and things like that, deciding to get surgery or how to address shoulder issues and whatever it is, okay? When you did that muscle up, when you caught it, what was your pain 0 to 10?
See, shoulders are weird. There's so many different areas. I didn't
Yeah, I'm just
have
asking, just in
when I
general. Yeah.
I know when I caught it, I didn't have any pain. That's not where it's at.
Okay. Where's your pain at?
So I'll have to think. I'll go do 30 ring muscle ups for time today, and I'll let you know.
Perfect. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds really good.
I'm kidding. That'd take me an hour anyway. So the pain
Okay,
is
just
okay.
before
No, I know.
already.
I know where it's at. So it's I think it's really hard to narrow down, but I think it's when so it's not in the,
Hollow.
it's not, it's during the, is it the arch? Yeah, it's during the arch, even on like toes to bar and stuff on the bar.
Mhm.
So it's better on the bar, but
So it's in the front. It's in the front, right?
yeah, it's like I can
Okay.
feel if I go up here and I'm in internal rotation, I feel it like right in here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it prevents
Perfect.
me from being able to get a good
What about
swing.
like a strict press? Is strict press painful? Like if you're just doing like a dumbbell.
Not so much, but if I'm doing like say 10 of them, I might feel it if I hit a weird area. But in general, no. It's mainly the
Just
this.
skipping. What
Yeah.
about snatching?
I think it's the same thing as the shoulder press. I think that
Mhm.
every once in a while I'll feel it in a weird spot.
Okay. So you got an MRI. What'd the MRI say?
Oh, I didn't get an MRI.
Oh, you didn't? You didn't? I'm almost positive you
No,
told me
no,
you got an
no, I
MRI.
didn't. I probably told you my original game plan was to get an MRI and then to do PRP. And that was my game plan. But at a certain point when I was adding up the dollars, I'm like, dude, screw it. Even if I get an MRI, no matter what it says, I was probably going to try PRP. And you're probably right. And
No, he's 100% wrong. This is I just pulled it up.
saving money, baby. Okay, good. So I was like, no, dude, I was like, I'm not going to spend all this money. People spend so much money on this.
So much money.
I do have a good deal on the PRP, right? So, because the chiropractor I know, it's like $400. They've been doing it since 2017.
That is really
which
cheap
is
compared
excellent.
to like
So
2,500. Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing it. It was in San Diego. It was like 1,800. So yeah, no MRI.
Okay. So, all right. So here's the dealio. Okay. You
Yep.
probably have a labral tear, some capacity.
Yeah.
Right. Probably what it is, which is fine.
Do
I have
one
two
thing,
labral.
do we all have, to some extent, is wear and tear we get from like kipping over the years? Do we all have some like micro tears?
No. So wear and
Okay.
tear is like this like cop out statement for people that just don't feel like they felt when they were 18. I don't like that statement. It doesn't quite work like that.
Okay.
Right. We do. Most people have rotator cuff fraying, right? Most people that are overhead athletes have some form of labral tear in some capacity, even if they're asymptomatic. Okay.
Yeah.
The MRI, right? The only reason you get MRIs is for traumatic injury and impending surgery. Okay.
Got it.
And they do that so they can create the plan. All right. The notion that we need to get an MRI so we know what's going on the inside doesn't make any sense. Okay. You can tell me I have pain in the front when I go through internal rotation and a dip. Okay, great. So you have pain in the front. Is there probably some labral involvement? Yep. Long head biceps tendonitis. Yep. And so, we don't need MRIs, right? The whole notion is like, oh, I have to know. Well, the MRI only shows you an image. In that image, right? In that image, it doesn't have this red dot that's like, okay, here's the injury, and this injury is causing your pain. That's a consensus. And as we all know, consensuses don't make sense,
Yeah.
right? So it just means that, okay, it's comparing, this image is comparing you to what the norm is. And if it's not the
Oh,
norm, whatever the difference is, because there's a difference in this, that has to be what's causing your pain. And that's not
interesting.
how pain works. That's just
Yeah.
not how pain works. Pain does not equal damage. Pain is not this linear relationship with tissue abnormalities. Okay. We've believed that it was at some point in time. And we call that in the mechanical model, right? That any tissue degradation or any tissue change outside of what it's supposed to look like, when you see that fucking vertebrae picture, right? Or like your 2-year-old son that's like, here's what he looks like. You should look the same. It just doesn't work like that, right? We're
Yeah.
going to have normal changes with age that are going to look like tearing and fraying and arthritic changes, but those don't always have to equate to pain. Now, they certainly can equate to pain, but they mostly don't. Okay. And so, Brandon, this is a great, keep
Yeah.
giving your input there. We'll bring those up. So anyway, so Grant has shoulder pain. He hasn't been able to do X, Y, and Z for a certain amount of time. Now, started taking BPC, TB, what is it? TB,
I think it's
TDP,
TB 500, right?
TB,
I
yeah,
think.
TB 500. That's
Yeah.
right. So he started taking the combo, and you had a good day, right? And it could have been a good day. It could be related to that, to the PRP, to 3 weeks off, whatever it was. But
Maybe.
the problem is there's a progression, right? So how much do you squat, back squat?
Well, they're gonna
Just in
laugh in the
general,
chat.
just in general.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
So I haven't been doing much strength, but I failed 385 the other day. Almost
Okay.
had it. So I'd say 370. I
Okay.
see. I hate saying
That's
that because I haven't been under 400 in so long. I hate you.
that's okay. So
370.
okay, so great. So 370. Now, um, uh, it is there. It's BPC 157 and TB, so they take it as a combo, right? And so one is for like tissue regeneration, which is BPC 157, and I think I can't remember exactly what TB 500 peptide
Yeah. I
for.
just figured I did of course I did the
It's
C8
just
peptide.
another. It's just another peptide for angiogenesis, which is like increased tissue regeneration. Um, uh, so um, so if you haven't been under 400, so you're clearly by definition a little bit weaker. But
Yeah.
if you hadn't squatted, so you haven't been. But what's your max ever?
420.
Great.
I don't
Now,
think I ever got 425. I think 420.
okay. So if our goal was 420, would you just start taking swings at 420?
No.
Right.
I had a
Right.
feeling
And
you were going here.
yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What would you do to get back to 420?
Me personally, I would probably I would start squatting more and I would
Oh,
add weight slowly. Like maybe
yeah,
if I
like
was
a
feeling good the next week,
progressive overload.
yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. So progressive overload for strength makes sense to everybody, right? If you've never squatted before and you're like, shit, I really want to squat 300, you don't just start taking swings at 300, right? You go with the bar, then you build up. Pain is the same way, but we call it graded exposure. Okay.
Okay.
If muscle ups are the top of the pyramid or the top of the
Mhm.
ladder, okay. Brandon, I am in Colorado currently this weekend only. I live in Florida. If
He's near Denver, Colorado Springs.
muscle ups, if muscle ups are the top of the ladder, but you haven't been able to do them, um, then you take a step down the ladder, right? Okay, what's next? Maybe dips. Dips hurt. Then you take a step
Yeah.
down the ladder. Kipping hurts. Okay, then we take a step down the ladder. Dead hangs, strict pull-ups, right? And we work our way down, right? And so just like we learn the pattern, right? We need all of the requisite abilities to do the pattern, which is strict pull-ups, dips, the ability to tolerate kipping, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, uh, and um, and so you jumped all the steps,
Yeah.
and when you jump all the steps, right? We haven't built up that tissue tolerance. We haven't created that graded exposure. Okay, and so it felt fine today, but the odds of it not feeling
Mm.
fine for a while are just a little bit lower, right? And it might not, right? Like,
If you
some
continue
people,
to do that, though, you're putting yourself at risk, essentially.
I mean, so I hate like demonizing just like being
Yeah.
active. It's just not the progressive way that we would do it,
Okay.
right? So like
That
you're
makes
like
sense.
kipping hurts without doing anything else. Well, the muscle up is literally the epitome of
Yeah.
kipping in stress on the shoulder, right?
Because there's
From
no
how
like,
well the
it's like
rings are
stabilizing.
narrow,
Yeah.
right? There's not a bar, right? It's
Yep.
two separate handles. It's not a bar.
Yep.
The kip pattern is going to be more narrow overhead. So the arch pattern is more difficult. Overhead flexion is more difficult. The lever to push down, to catch the dip, all of the things are just more stressful on the shoulder. They're not bad for the shoulder. They're just more stressful. And so there's a lot of steps that we would take before we would do that, which would include stationary dips like on a matador, support holds, bottom of dip holds, pressing, bench dips, strict pull-ups, kipping on the bar, levering, banded pull-ups, probably banded, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And
So
is that to make sure that everything, when you're going to the ring muscle up, everything that needs to be strong and in place is
so
now built back up?
strong and in place is not the right term.
I know. I don't know how
To
to
make sure that
term.
it can tolerate it, right? So
Okay.
don't think of pain as this weakness presentation or instability presentation or whatever it is. Um, oh shit, that's not that far. Oh yeah, you're way down there. I'm in Louisville, which is far. Aurora's way far away. Man, maybe we should go to the Trump rally. Yo, what's up?
He's a cool dude, by the way.
Trump, what do you just like fucking have his number on speed dial?
No, Brandon is.
Oh,
He was at the games.
um, so, so don't think of it like that, right? Think of it as we build strength with progressive overload, we build tolerance with graded exposure, right? Because pain is just a threat response. Okay. Sometimes we have structural damage, but for the most part, when it's insidious like that, um, let's go, baby. Yeah, Ashley's my nutrition, one of my nutrition friends.
That's cool.
And so when we are talking about, where was I? What was I just talking about? Oh, so when we're talking about pain, pain at its most basic definition is a threat response, not an actual, unless it's traumatic, not an actual response to structural damage, right? Because there's a lot of other factors that go into it. And so for the most part, when pain is insidious, when it's just like, oh man, overhead starts to hurt, it kind of comes out of nowhere. It's not this like traumatic response to a fall or fell through the
Yep.
rings or missed a snatch or whatever, right? It's just that tissue's inability to tolerate the pattern at that time. And so it could be a lot of things that cause that, right? And most of it's just overuse in a very,
Yeah.
very, very like basic term. It doesn't mean it was weak. It doesn't mean it was unstable. It doesn't mean it was imbalanced. It doesn't mean it was whatever demonizing term that you can think of. It wasn't those things, right? It maybe
Yeah.
have been like 1% of all of that, right?
Yeah.
And so all we think about and all we focus on, at least with here at WODprep and when we do PT, is okay, here's our starting point. What can we tolerate without going into a lot of pain? I don't know what that
Oh, hi, James.
I don't yeah. Oh, you missed it. I don't know. Were you on what is DZD?
Oh,
Let's see how much
I don't
money
think
did he
so.
give me?
$200.
Oh damn. Dude, I was
Yeah, that's what I
$120.
said. What did you do? What did you
Holy
like
shit. Well,
solve his life?
no, I blocked him because he was talking about Palestine.
Did you unblock
That
him?
was I just put him in timeout and I guess it just came back.
Oh, well, that's
Um,
interesting. He's an
and
interesting character, isn't he? I don't
that
know
was
what to think
wild.
now.
Holy shit. All right, we're gonna focus.
All right.
So instead of, oh, I have to make this tissue stronger, right? Oh, I have to make this like flexion, extension, or posterior anterior chain more balanced, right? Like
Yeah.
none of that has correlation and like substance in the science, right?
Yep.
We just know that, okay, I'm not tolerating kipping well. Okay, great. What do we do? Is it $1.50?
No,
Did I
it's
type it in wrong?
$200, I think.
Oh, it's DZD is 200. I have it as 121 bucks.
Okay.
On whatever. It
Hey,
doesn't
that's
matter.
awesome.
So So instead of think of it like that, right? We think of this step method. Okay, what can we tolerate that's a little bit of pain, not a lot of pain? Okay, and then we build from there. Pain is never an indication that things are that bad, right? A lot of pain might be. And so our goal is to slow dose and stress the tissue so that it will create adaptation. That adaptation can be getting stronger, or it can just be increasing tolerance to a stimulus. And that's the goal. And so muscle ups from not doing muscle ups for 8 months are
Yeah.
too much stress too soon, right? So think about it like this, and this will be the last bit of it, and then
Sure.
we'll move on.
No, this is
So
great. I appreciate it.
so how do muscles get bigger and stronger? I'm
How do
asking,
that?
Yeah, how do they? What do you do?
I mean, I'm going to give you a very basic answer. It's just by working out and increase, like you said, progressively increasing the weight, progressively.
Right.
I never know what people are looking for. I just say
That's
working
fine.
out
So
and adding
so
weight.
you
I don't
pull
know.
on them, right? You pull on muscles,
Okay.
they
Yeah.
make small tears, okay? And then
Oh
you
yeah. The
sleep and
micro
eat and
tears
they
and
rebuild. Yeah, they
they
eat and then
rebuild.
you
Yep.
rebuild, right? Yeah, proliferation, right? Muscle gets bigger. And and then you keep doing that over and over and over again, right? Well, what happens when you pull on a muscle too hard? It tears fully, right?
Yeah.
Right,
That
but it's
makes
the
total
same
sense.
stimulus on the spectrum, right? So, and then what happens if you don't pull on it enough? Then nothing happens, right? So,
Yep.
think of stress as this window, okay? Um, uh, man, harsh,
Brian,
coming in hot. So,
he's my nemesis on Hiller Fit. I was beating him a
in what?
lot. And then then he challenged me and on
Isn't he a good
the
runner?
assault bike. Apparently, he challenged me on the assault bike, smoked me, and I came back the next week and it was 800-meter run and 40 bar facing burpees, and I thought I'd beat him on the burpees, but his run was 3 minutes for the 800, and he was the same as me on
Jesus
the burpees.
Christ,
So
he can run well.
yeah, he's fast. I did 325, 326 on the run, and I was perfectly happy with that. And then his burpees were a few
Yeah.
seconds faster than me. It's fun
Oh,
though.
got
I
him.
like it.
That's
I
good.
got somebody
That's
I
good.
can
This is
yeah,
the first
somebody to
time
compete with.
I think that Brian's ever commented on the
Oh,
podcast.
really?
I always feel
Yeah,
like
he's
he
a good dude.
actively avoids saying WODprep on barbell spin, except that
Oh
first
yeah,
episode. Um,
he's a good dude.
so okay, so going back into it, right? So to build muscle, you pull on it, creates micro tears, and then we rebuild with rest, recover, water, whatever, right? Okay. But if you pull on it too much, they tear fully and then you get injured, right? How do you get bones stronger? Well, bones tissue is built with compression. The more you compress the bone, the stronger it gets over time. That's how you prevent osteoporosis. Okay. And so, but if you compress the bone too much too soon, what happens? It breaks. Okay. So
Yep.
stress is good until it's bad. And so when we're injured, there is a window. Okay, there's a minimum effective dose and there's a ceiling effect, and we work within that window, right? When we're not injured, that window is just a little bit higher. But when we are injured, the ceiling effect is much lower. Okay, and a muscle up is most likely out of that ceiling effect at where you are in your rehab journey.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
right?
definitely
So
felt weird. I can almost feel that too when I did it.
and so I'm not
It's
trying to
like
scare
this is
you.
not.
If you didn't
Yeah,
hurt, it's fine, and it wasn't a bad thing. I'm just saying that
yeah,
we're, we're probably not taking the steps accordingly for this to be a long-term solution, right?
yeah.
Like you need to be
Agreed.
doing lots of strict movements, shoulder, bodybuilding, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And so taking muscle
I
ups
agree,
after not
especially
having done
since I
them for
haven't
eight
been doing
months,
much strength.
per,
Yeah,
right, right. So
I'm not
so
as strong
when
because
we're
I haven't been doing much strength. So
right. And so, and then also with that, our tolerance and our, like where our tissues are just going to accept input is just going to be lower on this stress window. Right. So as we get
yep,
injured, this window either gets smaller or it kind of moves down the spectrum of like, oh, maybe just kipping is enough stimulus on the shoulder today. Right. Or just support
yeah.
holds or just like banded dips or whatever it is. Right. So, um, that's the,
Even the dead
but hey,
hang I've noticed on toes to bar. I actually
mhm,
think that on toes to bar, the reason I have to come down off the bar is the feeling that comes from basically dead hanging too long. Like when I come
mhm.
off the toaster bar, my right arm goes like this. It like falls down like, oh, my right shoulder was getting tired from hanging. So it's not like my abs are smoked when I get off. Like when I do toes to bar now, I do like 12 of them, and I have to drop down because of just like stress or tiredness right there. So yeah.
So
Do
again,
you like dead hangs?
signs. I do dead hangs for whatever it is. Hanging,
Yeah.
holds, end position holds are our best and starting point for all rehab, right? Dead
Okay.
hangs, overhead carries, right? Like 90-90 carries, holds, carries, and bracing are what kind of like add fire or add gas to like our fire of rehab, right? And so
Yeah.
it is what will move the needle the best always, right? Shane said this years ago, just on like a YouTube video. T is Shane, right? And it's something I had always said prior, right? Like to in my own little world, that most people can move weight from A to B well, but their A looks like shit and their B is not very strong. And that means like starting positions and end positions, right? End positions are where it's at. When you have a strong
Interesting.
overhead, you're just less likely to have altered positions. You're more likely to tolerate better things, right? And so hanging, handstand holds, overhead carries, you know, single arm, double arm, front rack carries, all of it, farmer carries, etc. Right? Bottom of the squat holds, all of those things are like where we build tolerance at, right? It's all
You
about
mean when
like
I'm actually not familiar with bottom of the squat hold. Is that just what
you're
it
just
sounds
sitting
like?
yeah, you
Yep.
sit in the bottom of the squat. Like if you want to tolerate squatting really, really well, like if you have
Yeah.
back pain when you squat really heavy, right?
Yeah.
You do a lot of bending over with lumbar flexion. You don't worry about your back being really stiff in all of your positions, right? So
Yeah.
it's just a myth that the back has to stay stiff during those things.
Yeah.
The heavier it gets, the more it should, but it always will move. And if we
Yep.
avoid lumbar flexion, right? If we avoid lumbar flexion actively, then most of the time people struggle with really heavy squats in the bottom because
Yeah.
everyone has a butt wink no matter what. Even Liu
Yep.
Xiaojun had a butt wink, even though it didn't look
Yeah.
like he did, right? Like everyone has anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees or a lot more of lumbar flexion, right? Narrow
Yeah.
grip overhead squats, like 90-90s, all of these. So Sarah, this is an interesting question. Like, where are the coaches at his gyms? Most coaches just don't know this, right? And not saying that it's
And
his
I don't
gym
have
or
any coaches at
whatever it
my
is.
gym. There are
You
no
just have
coaches.
just no coaches, just like an open
It's
gym.
so in Wichita, there's 2 affiliates. They're both 30 minutes for me, and they don't have anything during the day. I do not have time to drive 30 minutes in the evening away from my family. So I'm at a non-affiliate. And the time that I'm at is just an open gym. So we follow programming, but I'm able to do my own thing. So all last year when I learned stuff, I had to learn by like watching videos. When I learned all the movements, yes, it would be preferable to have a coach at my gym, but it is what it is. We're focused on getting healthy right now.
Good. Do less muscle ups, do more pull ups.
Yeah, I agree. I needed yesterday no matter what, dude. Like I needed to do a muscle up. I'm not saying I need to continuously do them because they're not
mentally.
even good right now.
Yeah, and that's fine. It
Yeah.
happens.
So I'm going to tell you right now so you don't get mad at me.
I'm ready.
And I can stick to this.
No, you can't.
I might do them again today once. And then after that,
you shouldn't do it.
I'm done. Oh gosh.
Uh-oh. What happened? Are you gone? Are you frozen? There you are. You're back.
Okay. I think I want to do them again today. And then I can
Sarah's
stop.
right. You're wrong. Sarah's right, and you're wrong. This is the hardest thing.
No. They're mental things that only that person knows. If sometimes you gotta do things like if you're down and out about something and you need to hit a muscle up, you might need to hit a muscle up. I know me, and I haven't been able to do one for 8 freaking months.
And you just did 4, and nothing bad happened. But you're playing with fire. Just go do some pull-ups.
Maybe I shouldn't today. Darn it, freak.
Like you're just playing with fire, right? Like so to what end? Like what's the end result of you doing the muscle up? Right?
Well, I'm obsessive about like form. I got my form good, and I saw them, and I'm like, if I just do
but that's irrelevant. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Right. So
Yeah.
if we can train at 100% for 10 years, right? But we have to take it a little easy for 6 months. That's better than trying to train at 70% all the time, right?
Yeah.
So there's no point, there's no timetable. That's the problem. Everyone thinks there's a fucking
Yeah.
time. Grant, how old are you?
38.
Yeah.
There's a
Dude,
little bit of a timetable.
I coach 65-year-olds at the CrossFit Games. There's
Yeah.
not a fucking
Oh, wow.
timetable.
Yeah. Well, and Seth Page the other day when we were on a podcast said that he like just dead serious said he is absolutely fitter right now than he's ever been. Like the 38-year-old Seth would destroy him
Yeah,
from
but
5 years ago.
yeah, so Seth's a different, I'm not gonna like he has a more unique thing. He put himself through a lot of trauma early, right, with his
Yeah.
job and like physical challenges and stuff. And he also never prioritized training because he was always in the like in the grind at Misfit and things like that,
Yeah.
right? And affiliate owning. And so, but he's at a point now where he can prioritize that.
Yeah.
Um, and so, uh, he also did a challenge that was very outside of his comfort zone with the 100 thrusters. And I bet solely, Jesus Christ,
I can't.
um,
It's only
uh,
$1.50, so you can block them.
yeah, $1.50, and I'm sad.
Thank you though for the $1.50.
Thank you for $1.50. And so putting someone through a lot of uncomfortable stuff for a long time creates change, right? We call that like mechanotransduction, right?
Yeah.
Tissue under load will create, and under stress will change faster than under no load, which is why,
Interesting.
right? Which is also why all quote unquote mobility work, like
Yeah.
ROMWOD or GOWOD, none of
Yep.
that stuff doesn't roll over into training very, very well.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't. Okay. And so the reason why is because
Interesting.
tissue under passive loading doesn't create long-term change as well as under, like, if you want to squat better, you can't fucking do straddle or frog
Yeah.
or whatever for hours and hours and just think you're going to squat better. Okay. And so, that's the first time Gus has donated. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, and he beat him on purpose by 350 or by 50 cents.
And so not to like toot our horn, but WODprep has mobility courses that are
Yeah.
for hips and shoulders, and they're all load based, right? Positional holds, time under tension. That's where you create the most change. And so that's where we should be starting. If dead hang hurts, you shouldn't be swinging, right?
Yep.
That's just like how it works, right? You should
Well,
be able to
it's
come
not
off
that
the
the
dead
dead
hang.
hang hurts, it's that it hurts if it's too long.
Which is, so it does hurt, right? So like, so you
Sure.
should continue there, and you should work like supported single arm hangs,
Yeah.
right? Narrow grip, supinated grip,
Yep.
mixed grip, supinated, mixed grip, etc. Like playing with
Yeah.
those things. I'm pretty sure it's a TT anyways, Gus. But anywho, yeah, so that's our rehab talk. I guess we'll
Thing
redo.
to August, it's not an ego, August. I am extremely competitive, which is a good thing. Particularly, I think men should be competitive. Women can be competitive too. I'm the most competitive person you'll ever meet, stuck in an uncompetitive aging body. But when I'm healthy, I'm going to get to the best that I can be. You know what I mean? Never going to be a games or semifinals athlete, but
Right.
I want to get good again.
For sure. Right. But training at 80% all the time will never get you there.
Yep.
But taking 4 months to train at 40%, hypothetically,
Yeah.
so you can get back to 100%,
Yeah.
is the do the math, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you just run the numbers, like the basic, just like the attrition of like the numbers of being 100% for longer, even if you were lower for a longer period of time, it's you're going to come out on top.
Yeah.
Over time, right? So
Yep.
take the extra step or take the extra time and take the extra commitment to just do a little less from like the muscle up specifics.
Sure.
Do the time under tension stuff, do the hangs, carries, slow presses, tempo work, et cetera, and you're going to be better off. And so the other thing,
gosh, Sarah, you used to be
so mad.
Sarah
so mad.
followed me when I had like 22 followers. She liked all my posts.
Sarah's the real deal. Don't leave, Sarah. Come back. Come back.
Sarah, we used to be like this.
This is so, Sarah, this is interesting. Grant is everybody. Everyone is like this. This conversation, I've been doing this for 8 years.
Yeah.
Like almost to the day. I think almost to the day. Like I got my license, I don't know, October of 2016. So it's pretty close. We're going on an anniversary. Maybe it already passed. I can't remember. Um Jesus Christ.
Dude, why don't you just quit saying it? Like there are so many. What about sex trafficking? See, he got me distracted because people should talk about that. We don't have time to talk about everything. It's a CrossFit podcast. It's a movement podcast. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So
doesn't mean we don't care.
No, I don't remember what I was talking about. Anything. I forgot.
Sorry.
I've been doing this for 8 years. I've been on thousands of evaluations, sales calls, and 90% of them, right, have the same mindset as you. And it's a hard one to break, right? But it is the mindset that will limit you getting back to full capacity, because training at full capacity will always be better, even if you feel like it's delaying you and you're not being able to do what you want. There's a lot of stuff that you can do in the meantime. During the time period, like if you actually got stronger, worked on strict strength. I hate calling it strict strength, but
I do need to work on strict strength.
Yeah. And so if we worked on all that stuff, when you actually were comfortable getting back to muscle ups, you would just be better. You would just be better, even without any time.
There's no kip on a strict ring muscle up. And I've never actually worked on those. Like I have a friend from the gym who said he's going to, show me how to do them and stuff. I think I have the strength to do them. Is that something since there's no kip and there's no pain?
Yeah. So again, there's just things I would do in front of that. Right?
First. That's what I figured. Okay.
Just in general, right? Like, it would be holds, carries, hanging, etc., pull-ups, strict pull-ups, a lot of strict pull-ups, ring strict pull-ups, that kind of stuff. That's where I would stick with time. And if you hammered that for 6 to 8 weeks, you'd feel great. You'd be very irritable because you hadn't done a muscle up in a while, but you'd swing up and you would just smoke one. Easy, better than you ever have.
Yeah, I think the worst part about aging, or I guess starting CrossFit late, is that as you age, you know that you at a certain point, you're not going to get any faster, not going to get any stronger necessarily, or there's going to be a slope, right? And so I just you kind of wish you'd started CrossFit a little bit earlier. Then you would have had to deal with injuries earlier, and you wouldn't feel like you have less time. You know what I mean? Not that I'm trying to compete. I just want to be the best.
Yeah, but that everyone has this like impending, like timetable that is 100% artificial.
Yeah.
Right. So, just to lay it out there, right? Like I've had 2 strokes and I don't have the ability to do what I used to do. I literally can't lift as heavy. I'm not allowed to. I have to self-limit. But it's all self-limited. So you want to talk about like the ego smash? I'm still physically capable of like pushing the needle, but it's like, do I just want to take the risk? Do I want to put myself at that risk and put myself at risk for my family? Right. Not even to the point of like, oh, I could get injured. No, I could just die. Like at any, like, and so, not to make this about me, but like the things that you feel, right, are the things that I've had to go through for, pretty much my entire CrossFit career. And then now, especially the last 2 years, right? So I had to take the timetable away and basically like put this artificial, like, here's this line, and I'm literally never allowed to cross it, even if I'm physically capable of crossing it, which I am. Like I am as fit in some areas of the world of this like little cult world that we live in that I've ever been. In some that I'm way more fit, right? But I just have to just like, oh, well, there's that. That's all I can do, right? And I have to just move on.
That's an interesting thing.
And so it's weird. It's tough. And so, we all go through it, like I have, like, I went through a huge identity crisis when it all happened. And so, just always remember there isn't a timetable, right? It doesn't matter. It's all made up in your head, right? Like 70-year-olds doing muscle ups, pain-free, and living their thing and doing their thing, right?
Yeah,
and
you got David Hippensteel, just can almost lock it out.
Right. You know, it's funny because when he hangs, his arms are locked, which is so ironic.
I
But
know,
anyways,
I know.
um,
He has
so
had a lot of legitimate injuries. I kind of feel bad for him, actually.
um, I mean, when he pushes hard, right? It is what it is.
Yeah,
Cool. Well,
awesome.
I'm gonna get back to doing
Yep. Hey,
some
I
workout
appreciate
chat.
it, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for
man.
letting me hop on. That was good.
Yeah, it was cool.
Kick me
Thanks for joining.
just, I'm not good with
I'll send
goodbyes,
you the
so
$3 that we made today.
okay. I'm not good with goodbyes, so, that'll do, pig.
That was awkward. I'm proud of you. All right, guys. Okay. Well, hey, thanks for digging in with that. I think we have like 20 minutes before the boys go on, so we'll chat. Finish up some iron games. He is awkward. He is awkward. Hey, Trish. I won't. Don't worry. I'm gonna buy myself a coffee this morning. Um, thanks, buddy. Um, all right. So, present, share. Sick. All right. So back to it. I hope you guys all enjoyed that conversation. Um, uh, Injury is funny, right? Pain and injury is a super. Are you talking to me, Trish? Should I put the hood on? I don't look good with hoods, right? So I don't have I have like power alleys, right? I'm not losing my hair. I've just always had like not a really strong hairline through here. So when I put a hood on, it makes me look like super bald. So I can't wear the hood. I don't have a good enough hairline. Um, uh, oh, excuse me. Injury is so interesting and it's really complex, but rehab is really simple. I don't know if this is is this an insult or is this a compliment? I can't remember what he looks like. It's been so long. Oh yeah, I guess he's wearing a red hoodie. That's funny. Um, I'll take that. I used to go, one of my nicknames in baseball when I was growing up was Tommy Pickles. Everyone said I looked like Tommy Pickles. Um, I don't know why. I never understood it, but I guess maybe. Uh, um, but injury is super complex. Pain is really, really, really complex and nuanced and multifaceted. But rehab is really simple, right? What can you do? What can you tolerate? And then you just build upon that, right? And you walk up the ladder, right? You have your goal, squatting heavy, muscle ups, snatching, etc. Um, um, and and so, all right, buddy, let me put you back in timeout. Um, and so, can we hide this? What happened? Can I not put him in timeout? There we go. So but rehab is just simple. Doesn't have to be complex, right? You just find a starting point. What can you tolerate? Does it hurt? Yes. How much does it hurt? A little. Um, and then you just build it back up, right? Just like you would build strength. So, um, dang, Aaron, you're way late. No, it's all good. All right. So we'll finish up. This is my favorite. This is my second favorite event. I think this is going to be a fun one to watch. All right. 20 bar muscle ups. 600-meter ski, 20 bar muscle ups, 80-foot dumbbell front rack lunge. It's going to be a spicy one. We'll see if anyone can go unbroken. I don't think they can. Ski and the bar muscle up is such a hard combo. Super, super challenging. Yeah. Let's see if we can find team. So individuals. There we go. Teams. Workouts. All right, let's talk about it. So team one's tough. You are soft. Gus, I want to see you do Can you hear the keyboard? Really? Gus, I want to see you do that last workout, the 600-meter ski, 20 bar muscle ups, 80-foot front rack lunge. I want to see what you can get. Send it to me. We've tested everything. That's good. ASMR. I feel like the morning thing is kind of ASMR. Yeah. Everyone says that the voice sounds pretty smooth. That shit is so weird. I had a TikTok for a while and I did the TikTok thing, and every time I'd scroll, I'd get those ASMRs. It's just so strange. And they're like, oh, 5,000 people are watching. I'm like, people are weird. Very strange. Yeah. This one is, I think it's 20 feet. I don't know. I'll send you a layout. I'll send you later. Message me on Instagram. All right. Synchro, 25 wall walks. It's a team of 3. 25 burpees, 125 drag rope, burpees, strict handstand push-up. This one's going to get spicy. There'll be a lot of strict handstand push-ups in it, just a big shoulder burn. Burpees to line is like not a line over, just an easy way to standardize. Both feet on the line. Athletes have to synchro, chest on the ground, and both feet touching the line. So not too much of a tough one. But definitely some synchro. I wanted to get as much synchro into the competition as possible. Then 80 toes to bar synchro with some ski calories, 80 chest to bar not synchro, and then 40 bar muscle ups bike. So another good one. We wanted to get a little more synchro. I was trying to get chest to bar synchro in there, but felt like it just might be a little too long. The range of athlete was maybe a little bit too high to put all of that synchro work in. So anyways, I think this one will be fun to watch. A lot of strategy here. You can switch at any time. You want to time up the ski or in the machine and the gymnastics. So but another good one. I was really excited how that one turned out. Here, just the lift. Each athlete's going to do a different lift, can preload the first bar, snatch, clean and jerk, and clean. 5 minutes for each athlete to find it. I think that's going to be a fun one to watch. We'll get trail run, same distance trail run. So what we're doing on the trail run that I think a lot of people should probably start to implement is we have 3 team athletes. Okay. And at 3, 2, 1, go, athlete 1 is going to go. At 1 minute, athlete 2 is going to go. And then at 2 minutes, athlete 3 is going to go. So it doesn't just beat up your slowest runner. It's going to challenge your fastest runner to actually try and catch your slowest runner in that 1.5 miles. So the fastest runner has a 2-minute delay, but the score is still when the last person comes in, right? So balances it out just a little bit better for the teams, right? So the slowest runner isn't just, getting pulled along by the team. The sled event, same thing. It's a sled relay. There's going to be a down and back light sled, down and back heavier sled, down and back a heaviest sled. So it'll be fast. It'll be really electric in there. So we're in this like lacrosse training facility. Everyone will be in there. It's kind of intimate. It's really small. It's big. It's like 100 by 80. So it's big, but it's a big metal building. So we'll hear a lot of good cheers and stuff. It'll be fun to be a part of. This one had our most iterations and like changes. Synchro sandbag cleans, synchro sandbag squats, and then 60-foot handstand walk. 2 people are working at a time, right? At all of it, you can switch as much as you want. You'll do 15 synchro to the shoulder, 15 squats, and then you can switch to handstand walk as much as you want. Then you'll do 12 and 12, 60-foot, 9 and 9, 60-foot, and then it alternates down for masters, and the weights get lighter. So it's going to be a good one. Probably a lot of back blowing up at that point. Trish, have I ever flatulated? I don't think that's medical advice or question. No, I think I've definitely flatulated and shit myself at some point in my life for sure. And then our event 7 is my favorite one, very WODpalooza inspired over the years. is basically each athlete will take part in a named workout. Athlete 1 will do Jackie, and then at the 8-minute mark or at the 9-minute mark, athlete 2 will do Fran, and then at the I think the 14-minute mark, athlete 3 will do the Iron Gauntlet, okay, which the individuals did, which is just snatch, clean, thruster. So good event. We're super excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, my first competition. Hope you guys follow along. Follow Coda Iron Games on Instagram. Follow WODprep on Instagram as well. All right. Do we want to talk about Crash? It's not my thing, but I don't even know where to find who the athletes are competing. Does anyone know where the stuff is? Like where the, let's see, Crash, Crucible, leaderboard. Is it on Competition Corner? Where they use local comp? I think this is last year. That was last year. Well, I don't know. I hope so. I can't remember if we have them step forward or not. If they don't step forward, I hope they do. That would be sick. I can't remember how we have the flow. But I would like to see people go like 10, 10, 10 for sure. Let's see, local comp, Crash Crucible 2024. That's 23. I've never even heard of this. Here we go. Finally. I've been looking for this for fucking ever. All right. I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know. This is John's thing. Are we excited? How many events are there? 7? Can we see the events? I think they're on Instagram, right? What do you think? Like a true professional? I don't think it's hard to go from snatch to clean and jerk, right? You'd have to like take it, right, and like adjust your hands in the air. So my light went out. Put this one on. And let's see. Crash. They looked really good. I really like the workouts. JR is a really clever rider. I'd love to get JR on the podcast and talk some shop with him and dig into some training. Event 1, dumb standard. I feel like there's a different place to review all the workouts, not there. Maybe here. What do you guys think about HWPO representing it? I think they could do 2010 if they don't have to step forward. This is the better podcast. No, this is just the WODprep one, buddy. Let's see. No, that's not it. Let's go to here. I don't think so. No, they're just all here. It's just on this. This is where it is. Sorry, bud. Keyboard ASMR. Yeah, I mean, that's what I think, right? You know, he was pretty open that they didn't program it. That's not what they're asking. You do get free coaching here, that's for sure. I give away way too much free shit. No doubt about that. Yeah, I don't know how to find it without watching all of the videos. I'm not going to watch all the videos. Anyways, we'll check it off. Edit. Iron Games. Rehab. Talk. There we go. We'll change it. There we go. You guys do pay me back in love. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out. Yeah. Oh man. It is a great name. I think so. Oh, is there a picture? Oh, haha. See? Thanks, buddy. Gus, you're a real one. There we go. We'll do that real quick. That's all right. We still don't have to do it. We'll go over it. I'm super excited for them. I think they're going to be fun. I won't watch one event, not even remotely, a little bit. This one's going to be sick. Moving a 100-pound dumbbell is wild, but it seems like Taylor can go unbroken, which is going to be wild. I'm really excited to see the time frame. You get to get that 1 minute rest. But this is, dude, 100-pound dumbbell clean and jerks is spicy. 9 med ball sit-ups, 12-meter handstand walk, 6 rounds for time. Just a shoulder burner, right? Like just like a midline sadness, right? Obviously. Yeah. So Trish, we're running a competition called Code Iron Games. And yeah, this one's rough. You mean those med ball sit-ups? I think the med ball sit-ups are going to tax the shoulders maybe more than people anticipate. Obviously, the ski hanging upside, being upside down, supporting for the handstand walk. It's going to be a rough one for sure. What's a pill? I don't know what a pill is. Pill thrusters. Is that like a, so no. So the owner of Coda used to be in Oklahoma, and he was part owner of those Codas, but he owns one in Colorado now called Coda Iron View, and so that's where the competition is. It's in Louisville, Colorado. Trish. Steph's comment. Quick. Sure. Where is Steph's comment? Is it in here? Is this somewhere else? I don't know. Help me guess. I know that was a minute ago. I might have missed it. What is this? New comments. It was on another post. Like here? Midline sadness? Oh. Oh, this is a that's an interesting play. I mean, I think yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would, is this like the same as, all right, so you won't let an athlete under suspension compete at Crash, but event 2 is sponsored by peptides unless the WADA list changed yesterday. Peptides are a banned substance. Will the next event be sponsored by SARMs? All right, James is gone. I tried to give him a chance. He donated money, $1, but I couldn't do it anymore. Man. So I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm never going to tell anyone not to take that bread, right? Like, you got to get the bag. You want to give athletes money. We want to do this. We want to grow it. You know what I mean? I think there is, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm not saying it's bad. I thought the Monster sponsorship was kind of off kilter too, right? But you got to get if we want to professionalize it, the money has to come in somewhere, right? We want athletes to make enough money so they can do this thing full time. then we have to take money from people that, maybe don't fully align with our vision sometimes. And I mean, that's not the best way, but it probably is something that has to be assessed all the time. I will enjoy how you satisfy your cognitive dissonance. Yeah. Oh, that's fair. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, so Ken, so the difference there is like peptides give performance enhancing ability. CBD doesn't, right? There's not a misunderstanding of what it is. I think people understand, but it does exactly improve performance, right? I don't know if, yeah, I don't know. Yes, Sean, start yelling. Let's see, where was the question? This is a tough one, right? Like, I don't know. Ugh, I gotta hold my legs. My feet are cold. This is an interesting one because it's a banned substance, right? But Monster and them aren't banned. They're just not aligned with the message. But again, Monster was in and out and they were gone, right? So that's also the other thing. I don't know. I gotta chew on this one. Maybe we'll talk about it at a different date because I gotta really sit and think about it. On like if I think it's the same as like Big Soda being involved in CrossFit. Now, so if we're talking about Big Soda, right, or like Monster and whatever it was, there was an active fight against sugar within CrossFit. So I think that is probably maybe on a different level. There was never an active fight on against performance enhancing drugs. I think if we want athletes to be able to make the money that they need to make to do this and be professionals, this is going to have to be the conversation that continues to be had, you know? Um, I think there are plenty of people that aren't competing that peptides can benefit and help and support and improve their lives if they taken the right way. Like BPC 157, TB 500. Grant's never going to compete in CrossFit, so it doesn't matter, right? And so I think that's where the difference is. We know that alcohol and sugar and all of it, and none of it is beneficial for the body in any way, shape, or form, right? There's definitely a cognitive dissonance, like internal fight that I'm going through, you know, with this question. This is a good question. Good job, Gus. Yeah, I got to really think about it. I feel like it's not the same, but it is the same. And I feel like there is some differences. Maybe I'll have JR on to talk about it. That's a really good question. Well, did anyone respond? Well, I guess there's a lot of responses. I guess you probably should have went through that. Oh, someone got blocked. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess everyone has good comments in there. So I don't think I think so. The issue is Steph is raising is inconsistency in following water rules. Do we follow them or not? I don't think having them as a sponsor is like, do we follow them? Obviously, we have to follow them, right? Like, no one competing at Crash is going to be allowed to take drugs, right? right? I mean, like just because they sponsor them, right? People, they, like, yeah, I don't know if that's the, um, I don't know. I don't think that's what they're saying at all, right? So, I mean, it gives us the ability to professionalize and give these athletes a. No, no, can you guys hear that? That's funny. That's Ben upstairs blowing his nose. Um, yeah, Clock, I don't agree with you. I don't think this is an accurate assessment of what's happening in this conversation. To go back to hers, um, just because it's sponsored by peptides doesn't mean that they're breaking rules. It means that peptides wants to give money. There's plenty of people that have eyes into our sport, right? When we're marketing, that have eyes onto all of this, that aren't going to compete, that could benefit from peptides or that want to benefit from peptides and one in of itself. And so I think that it's probably okay in that, yeah, um, in that aspect, right? Now, if peptides was pushing like, hey, all the athletes are on peptides, this is, like a fully fueled fucking field, then that's probably a bad idea. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with you, Clock. I think that's a, like a, not a poor take, right? Maybe short-sighted, right? That's like, kind of like a straw man, right? Just because someone is involved with something doesn't mean we support them taking it within the field of play. Doesn't mean that we don't support that company and maybe what they do in general, right? I mean, everyone in this chat probably drinks, but again, like Taylor said in his comment, they're not drinking on the sideline, even though Bud Light's probably the biggest sponsor of the NFL, right? Yeah, I mean, being a sponsor, doesn't mean that everyone is doing it, right? Or they're handing out free peptides to the athletes. They're handing out money to get promotion for them to run a company, right? I don't hate the peptide company. I think it's beneficial, right? But you have limits as an athlete of what you can and can't take. So interesting. Well, I think the guys are about to go on. I don't want to cannibalize them. But that was a good chat this morning. A good finish for sure. Yeah, maybe we'll get on tomorrow morning. Probably not. But thanks for being around, guys. Enjoy the day. I hope everyone has a good the Go Watch Crash. I think Savannah's coming on. In all right, Trish, go ahead. You got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. But yeah, we've got to get going on our day to get the competition set up, and I always finish. I think on that note, we'll roll. Trish, enjoy the day. Come on the show Monday or Tuesday. I think I'll probably be on Tuesday morning this coming week. We might come on this afternoon a little bit later to do a podcast with the MC of Code Iron Games, Claire Bales. Show her real quick. So if you guys don't know Claire Bays, she is a super cool chick. She actually has a pretty good page. She's an MC. She puts out some cool content. Give her a follow. She's going to be with us all weekend. I think we'll podcast. We'll podcast later, maybe later today. So thanks, guys. Enjoy the day, and we'll see you.